Hey guys, welcome back to Ivy Rose Knows. So, a lot of people are asking about the text messages from between Nick and Gypsy throughout this whole situation. And so I went to Law and Crime and I pulled the section where they read one by one. I believe there was about 400 text messages. So this is going to be in 3 parts. But this is every text message read aloud during the trial. I figured it would be an easy place for you guys to go and actually see them all. So again, this is part 1 of part 3 of the text messages between Nicholas and Gypsy. Here you go. Let me know what you think.
That's where the first text you could find started, correct?
Correct. Defendant, that was my evil side who did that. You know my good side would never call you that, hun. Maybe a bitch when you're being one, but that is all, hun. Well, it's all true, hun, and it was about voices in my head, but instead of getting rid of them, they became part of me, baby. How it works is based on my thoughts and feelings, dear. Depends on what part of me shows, honey. Gypsy, I understand, hun. But that don't mean I don't understand you. I do. Defendant, well, maybe after I explained it, you understand, sweetie. Otherwise, no one else understands, hun. Gypsy, well, I do. You understood me in my different ways. Defendant, well, we're supposed to understand each other if we just know how to express each other, dear. Heart emoji.
If we may, before we go any further, because the court reporter is recording everything he's saying, Mr. Patterson, he's reading verbatim 160. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you want the court reporter to report it exactly as he's reading it? Mr. Perry? I'm just trying to think. There's 800 of these.
I think it needs to be.
You do?
Yeah,
All right.
it's on the record.
Okay.
Gypsy, sometimes I'm too expressive. LOL or laugh out loud. Defendant, not really, because expression involves details, and you know I'm better at that, hun. Gypsy, yes you are, but I too want everything you do too. Defendant, what do you mean? Gypsy, everything you said you want, I want too. To be together. Defendant, honey, this is where we're different though. I don't just want everything with you, but I need everything with you for me to feel complete, sweetheart. Heart emoji. Gypsy, I need you too. Promise me the good part of you will never die. BTW, or by the way, I'm on FB too. FB is probably Facebook. Defendant, really dear, because at times I wonder if you need me. Baby, it could never die. Gypsy, I do need you. It kills me to make you have to be on these ups and downs. Defendant, honey, you would not mind using a sweet name every once in a while. It helps me remember I'm worshipped, hun. Gypsy, sure, sweetie. Defendant, that's better, dear. Heart emoji. Gypsy, it's not that I don't worship you. I do, baby. I do, and I look forward to being with you. I'm just dealing with everything changing, hun. Defendant, about you or exactly what changes here? Gypsy, the move, the change that's coming. Darling, I'm scared. Defendant, scared of what, my love? Gypsy, of everything. I'm not good with change, baby. Defendant, everything? Sweetheart, we both have that in common when it has to do with moving, dear. Gypsy, I'm going to be okay. I just needed to calm down and take a breath. But darling, my feelings for you will never change. Heart emoji. I'm yours and you do make me happy. Defendant, I hope they never change because you scare me at times, dear. Heart emoji. I hope so, honey, because I put my mind, heart, and soul into being with you and making you happy, sweetie. Heart emoji. Gypsy, my feelings won't change, and though I have freakouts, I always come back to you, my love. I'm so sorry I scared you. I'll give you lots of love in the hotel, baby. Defendant, well, that's reassuring, dear. I needed that. Heart emoji. After doing what my evil side said, hun? Gypsy, I reassured you on FB too, hun. Heart emoji.
So sometimes does it appear that they're communicating on more than one form at a time, Facebook as well as texting?
Yes. Yes, baby. Defendant, okay, baby. Heart emoji. Gypsy, you said don't let anything in our way. I wore myself out with being emotional. Defendant, that's true, dear. I'm guessing you have a correlation to that when I said it, dear. Heart emoji. Defendant, it's true, dear. I'm guessing you have a correlation to that when I said it, dear. Heart emoji.
Is it possible you just took a double picture of that one as you were photographing all this?
I may have. Gypsy, sorry, hon, I took a nap. Defendant, I thought you did, dear. Heart emoji. Gypsy, I hope you feel better now, hon, because I do. Defendant, I just needed to be reassured, hon. Heart emoji. Gypsy, okay, darling. Well, I love, adore, and worship you, my everything, and I'm not giving up.
Is that an example of that signature salutation you spoke of?
Yes. XOXOXOXOX, which is slang for hugs and kisses. Defendant, that's music to my ears, sweetie. Heart emoji. Gypsy, big smile. Defendant, dear, will there be less of these freakouts in person? Gypsy, yes, darling. When we're together, I will be a lot more relaxed. Mostly because we can use hugs, kisses, and body language to prevent it. Defendant, true, and sex will relieve us of the stress, dear. Gypsy, LOL, laugh out loud, that too, hun. Defendant, yes, dear, heart emoji. Gypsy, a lot of our problems are we don't have a physical relationship, hun, so it's hard, hun. Defendant, true, I suppose most of our problems are physical related, dear. Gypsy, and I want you to know being with me won't be hell, it will be much better, sweetie. Defendant, when exactly, dear, since you got me curious. Gypsy, well, I'm going to start now, but I'll be all the way better when we see each other, hun. Defendant, all right, dear, heart emoji. Gypsy, do I make you happy? Defendant, when you don't have your freakouts, yes, dear. Gypsy, maybe you might like me better in person. BTW, or by the way, I'm afraid of bugs, just so you know, hun. Defendant, bugs? Dear, there is no reason for that, and you know I'll worship you either way, whether in person or from afar, heart emoji. Gypsy, I'm just letting you know my phobia is bugs and spiders. I always feel like crap after I freak out because you're caught in the middle. I can't stay even an hour away from me and you. Defendant, and spiders, that's also something harmless to you most of the time, hun. It's meant to be that way, though, dear. Gypsy, it's just my fears, hun. So you take your little creepy, buggy friends and escort them out the house. Defendant, exactly, dear. And don't worry about bugs, they're harmless, hun. Gypsy, so we're all cool, sweetheart? Defendant, yes, hun, it's just your freakouts that scare me, honey. Gypsy, we have that in common, hun. Defendant, of course we do, dear, heart emoji. Thursday, May 28, 2015. Gypsy, we are all lovey again, my cutie pie. Defendant, that's great news, my Ellie. Heart emoji, smiley face emoji. Gypsy, aw, my dear Carl. Meet me on Facebook, my love. Defendant, hun, I'm glad you picked up on that reference, heart emoji. Gypsy, LOL, laugh out loud, nice job, cap up. Defendant, I knew you would catch on to it, dear. Gypsy, darling, will you tell me the movie you want to watch with me yet? Defendant, oh, the same one I have as a surprise? No, dear, it's a surprise. Gypsy, really? LOL, OMG, laugh out loud, oh my god. Do you have it? Defendant, no, but we'll buy it together, sweetie. Gypsy, okay, hon. Oh, if I showed you a YouTube clip of a TV show, would you tell me if you would watch it with me, hon? Defendant, well, I have to see the clip first, dear. Friday, May 29th, 2015. Gypsy, hey, handsome. Defendant, hey, gorgeous. Gypsy, drool makes you horny, LOL, laugh out loud. You're weird. Defendant, baby, you'll understand when you experience it, heart emoji. Gypsy, darling, I'm safe. Long story, but tornado warning was issued. Defendant, that's good news, dear, heart emoji. Gypsy, darling, can you please meet me online? We need to talk about our plan. Defendant, okay, honey, heart emoji. Gypsy, I'm still daddy's girl, hold me, and yes, it's kitty, daddy. Defendant, baby, why didn't you answer daddy before, as I hold you in my lap? Gypsy, I was taking tummy med to make me feel better, so I put my phone down. Saturday, May 30th, 2015. Defendant, okay, honey, just never change on daddy because I never want you to be anything but daddy's everything, as I rock you back and forth in my arms on my lap. Gypsy, I won't change, daddy. I curl into your shoulders and cuddle. Defendant, I keep rocking you back and forth in my arms on my lap. Are you my same daddy's girl that I reminded you of being in the past year? Gypsy, hey, baby. Darling, does your house have any kind of car? I'm looking on Google Maps. Defendant, dear, it depends on how updated their world map is. Last time I looked, it wasn't the right vehicle. Gypsy, wow, it's a small place. LOL, laugh out loud. Defendant, yeah, it's small to a degree. Gypsy, I looked at the population and it's smaller than the smallest town I've lived in. I thought 7,800 was small. Defendant, like I said, it used to be a village, now it's a town. Gypsy, I'll adjust, LOL, laugh out loud. Besides, smaller, less trouble. Defendant, I hope so because it should be easy one to transcend to, heart emoji. Gypsy, are you ready? Like in all ways, hon. Defendant, what do you mean, dear? Gypsy, for me. Defendant, if I wasn't, I wouldn't be so eager to be living with you, dear. Gypsy, I was supposed to get pregnant in a week and a half. Defendant, okay, hon, so what are you saying? Gypsy, I just feel sad I'm not. Defendant, oh, I see, hon. Gypsy, part of me is really worried about my tube. What if I could have it taken out being pregnant? Defendant, you said you would have it taken out. Gypsy, could you wait like 10 months for plan B? Defendant, so you want me to get you pregnant again? Gypsy, I'm getting it changed, hon. Defendant, oh, because for a second I thought you wanted me to get you pregnant again, dear. Gypsy, I just was wondering, does Big Ben have a hospital? Besides, I'm late on my period. Defendant, no. Okay, Gypsy, gotcha. Defendant, MHN, MHM. Gypsy, let's move to Milwaukee, smiley emoji. We can stay with your mom for a little. Defendant, Milwaukee, I'd rather be living in Waukesha, hon. Gypsy, okay, darling, we can look up apartments in Waukesha. And with the 5,000 I have, we will be set. Defendant, good idea, dear. Heart emoji. Gypsy, I don't need to marry you to live with you, so we can take our time with wedding. I saw Waukesha looks beautiful, and I can paint and sell my art. Defendant, dear, I know that, but you mean our 5,000. True, baby. Gypsy, yes, our darling. Smiley emoji. Gypsy, and who knows, maybe after a while we can have a ceremony like a wedding time. You would make a handsome groom. Defendant, and we'll live in my birth city, hun. Heart emoji. Hopefully live close to Woodman so we get our groceries extremely cheap, dear. Heart emoji. Gypsy, Waukesha would be a dream come true, sweetheart. Defendant, hun, we're still going to follow our kind's traditions though, dear. Heart emoji. Gypsy, of course, darling. Defendant, I look forward to it, my dear. Heart emoji. Gypsy, I look forward to cuddles. I dreamt about it. And you gave me oral sex. Defendant, maybe so, but I look forward to kissing you. Heart emoji. As I will do in the future. Gypsy, blushes. Defendant, well, it's true, baby. Gypsy, will you give me my first orgasm soon, my love? Will you finger me on the bus? I desire pleasure too, hun. Defendant, hun, I may be naughty on the bus, just depends on the moment, depends on how naughty, hun. Heart emoji. Gypsy, well, I'm going to touch you, winking face emoji. And I'm going to kiss you too, everywhere. Defendant, dear, I may give you permission to, heart emoji, winking face emoji. Gypsy, good darling, smiley face emoji. Defendant, as for the kissing, you know you can do that on my body, sweetie, heart emoji. Gypsy, the first movie I want to watch with you is 50 Shades of Grey. I also think we should start with soft, wet, anal sex before big time anal. Let's talk on Facebook, LOL, laugh out loud. Defendant, dear, I'll watch that with you to get us in the mood, which depends on the time. It could be a later movie, dear. As for anal, don't worry about that because it's my job as your master too, dear. Gypsy, you make my girly parts tingle. Defendant, I'm glad I do because I'm supposed to, hun. Gypsy, I'm thinking about you in a naughty way. Defendant, that's good, heart emoji. Sunday, May 31st, 2015. Gypsy, you're a great daddy, and thank you for doing the worst for the best of us. Defendant, you're welcome, my dear. Gypsy, looking at your movie, lights, and music, we couldn't be more opposite. I like country, you like metal. I like drama, you like comedy. Goodness, this is awkward. Well, I'll expand my interests. Defendant, those are just a few, hun. Gypsy, I do like the animated ones. Defendant, we have more in common than you may think. Gypsy, darling, please read what I said. Defendant, okay, hun. Gypsy, good morning, my love of my life. You know what? I'm going to start wearing a ring because I want to feel married to you, so one of my rings from the girly shop, Claire, will do. Defendant, okay, hun, and sorry I didn't answer until now. Gypsy, I need to tell you a secret, hun. Defendant, go ahead, dear. Gypsy, I never stopped sucking pedicure from a baby bottle. Defendant, baby, I already knew that. Gypsy, you know? How? Defendant, baby girl, seriously, do you not understand that I am with you spiritually? I experience everything with you, dear. Heart emoji. That's why there is no point in hiding things from me. Gypsy, oh, okay, hun. Are you with me when I'm naked? I'm going to church, hun. Defendant, okay, hun, and I'm with you at all times. Heart emoji. Gypsy, darling, I'm 100% with the plan. Defendant, what do you mean, dear? Gypsy, I'm in for it, hon. No doubts. Defendant, okay, darling. Gypsy, that's all just okay. I was expecting IDK, or I don't know, joy, I guess. Defendant, dear, of course I'm happy, heart emoji. Gypsy, okay, good, sweetie. What's your stepdad's name, just so I know? Defendant, Charlie. That is what it is, hon. Gypsy, okay, darling, cool. Defendant, yes, dear. Gypsy, please be online. Defendant, okay, darling.